Alright boys, we got a market recap today for Monday, June 23rd. I didn't take any trades today. We'll go over my bias real quick. I originally wanted to be short bias coming into the day just because of the war news, and we had a big gap down overnight. So I noticed we had this 1 hour, actually before this even happened, we had this 4-hour volume imbalance here that we formed overnight that I had marked out overnight before I went to bed, that I wanted to see us potentially come back up into, fill this gap, and then start a market maker submodel to the downside. But we never did that, and we can see that we just continued to run through it. And so after continuing to run through it, my bias really flipped to long. We had a bearish imbalance here that we could have potentially came up to and started to sell off if we respected it, but we never respected it. An off market open, we put in an SMT at the lows right here. So off market open, we put in an SMT at the lows. NQ had already tapped into the hourly imbalance. So at this point, right when market opens, if we continue to sell off here, boom, if we continue to displace, this would become the market structure shift low. If we continue to displace, this would have been like a very obvious draw on liquidity, and we could have caught that continuation to the downside. But we came down and put in an SMT at the low. This was within the first 5 minutes of market open. So once we come down and put in this SMT and wick this out, I'm now bullish to this internal high after this displacement. If we go to the 5 minute on ES, ES was the stronger index, so I'm just going to zoom in here. So this is my original trade bias for this morning after putting in this SMT. We displaced higher on the 5 minute chart. We opened up this 5 minute imbalance here. Boom. I was looking for this 5 minutes to get tapped into in order to go long to this internal high here, but we just never got that because that would have been my third time frame of confirmation. We ran through this high time frame volume imbalance, right, which is the my hourly confirmation, as well as these hourly relative equal highs right here, and rebalancing to this hourly fair value gap, which was up here. So that was my high time frame hourly time frame. And then zooming in, we have the 5 minute SMT and displacement and this 5 minute fair value gap. So I was looking to zoom in here and either on the 15-second chart or on the 1 minute chart look for that inverse fair value gap, and that would have been my third time frame of confirmation, but I never got it, so I didn't take any trades today. I was waiting for that third time frame of confirmation. There was someone in the Discord who caught this long right here, pretty clean, because at this point we know that yes, we did rebalance. We've already displaced. We've displaced even further, right? Had an internal breakup structure here, closing above this high, opened up a new 1 minute BISI. Could have gotten tapped in here for about a 1-to-1. So I wasn't really looking to take this because I was waiting for that third time frame confirmation, but this is not a bad trade at all because at this point, like, you have max confidence in this drawn liquidity. But no trades for me this morning. And then after that, we continued to displace higher, and we've continued to displace higher, like on the 15-minute chart. And if we take the standard deviation of this SMT from the morning, standard deviation lines up perfectly with this 4-hour high here. So this would become my next high time frame drawn liquidity. I was looking for us to potentially hold this 15-minute right here. And then there just wasn't enough internal structure formed in order to take a valid long here anymore, and I'm logged off for the day because it's so late into market open. And so yeah, no trades for me this morning, Monday. first day of the week. No need to force anything. Had a super clear bias and drawn liquidity to this hourly high here, this hourly high here, and we just took it without offering an entry from me personally. But yeah, if we would have tapped into this 5-minute imbalance here, that would have been golden. That would have been A++ setup. So no trades for me. That was my bias for today. On Monday, we'll see what the market offers the rest of the week. Unfortunately, we are back in this big consolidation on the higher time frames, which sucks. I was really hoping with the bearish news that we would start to make our way down and break structure, potentially starting this sell model to this weekly imbalance. But unfortunately, we just got bought right back up, so we have to play internal draws and liquidity. It's looking like for the rest of the week, which are here, these internal highs, and just simply take internal models until we start to get high time frame displacement, because this is pretty ugly stuff. So we'll see what happens tomorrow and the rest of the week, but that is the market recap for Monday. Appreciate you watching. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.